You've landed inside the bubble with Harli G, a podcast for the superwoman. I am a mother, wife, and ambitious career woman who realized one day that part of me was unfulfilled. I launched this platform to help other women discover and walk in their ultimate purpose through shared stories of trials, fear, dreams, courage, grief, and triumph. No matter who you are or where you're from, there's purpose in your story. Insiders, Inside the Bubble with Harli G is sponsored by BetterHelp. As a partner of this episode, listeners can access the BetterHelp link located in the show notes to receive 10% off your first month of therapy with BetterHelp and get matched with a therapist who will listen and help. Therapy has been such an integral part of my purpose journey, and I'm sure it will benefit your journey as well. Go to BetterHelp, that is betterhelp.com/inside the bubble to get started. This episode is also brought to you by Farmers Insurance. When was the last time you reviewed your insurance policy? Like who does that? Or when was the last time you could call your insurance agent directly with an emergency? Well, I was actually able to do that. 2 years ago, my garage caught on fire, and I was able to pick up the phone and talk to the one and only Austin Brummett on the phone immediately. There's nothing like peace of mind knowing that you are talking directly to the agent. So my friends at the Austin Brummett agency would love to hear from you and provide you with the same amazing service that they provided me. Give them a call at 678-402-8262 or email them at abrummett@farmersagent.com. Lastly, are you thinking about buying a car but dreading the process? I will tell you that's why I have a husband, so he can handle all of that. But Car Official is changing the game. Car Official believes the car buying process should be transparent, informative, and even, wait for it, enjoyable. Their experts are here to guide you, provide you with clear information, and honest advice. No fancy jargon, no pressure, just a helping hand every step of the way. Whether it's understanding your financing options, getting clarity on fees, or simply finding the perfect car for your needs, they've got you covered. Visit them today and see the difference for yourself at 770-627-4296 or at www.carofficial.net. Welcome, insiders, to season 3 of Inside the Bubble with Harli G. I am your host, Harli G, and I want to take a little bit of time to talk about why this series on purpose and faith. And to go back a little bit, when I first started on this journey to having a podcast, I remember just recording every Saturday, setting up guests, and sometimes having 2-3 guests come in at a time to talk about their purpose and their journey. And did that for a little bit over a year. And I was having a conversation with my business manager, and we were talking about how does the podcast continue to evolve? And we were talking about the formatting, and that's when we started discussing having series, really focusing on a subject and really taking it to the next level by bringing people in and sharing their stories and their experiences when it comes to that specific subject. So we started this concept of having the seasons. And when I was thinking about the subjects of the seasons, I was just kind of throwing some subjects out there, and faith came up, of course. And as I was thinking about faith, I was just thinking about how instrumental faith was in my journey to purpose. And so we came up with this idea that we were going to have a series on purpose and faith. Now, mind you, I've been kind of trekking along on my journey to purpose, Everything is amazing. It's all butterflies and unicorns. And I'm just ticking along, walking along this journey. I have a tribe, I have a community, I have individuals that are really coming in and sharing this experience, this journey with me. And everything is just amazing. Just to kind of summarize my journey so far, it's been great. It's been amazing. I have people that are walking alongside me on this journey that are encouraging me, inspiring me, telling me, I'm making great impact, and it's great. And started thinking about how we were going to organize these series. And so we came upon this series, which is Purpose and Faith, and kind of set it up. We're talking logistics. And while all this is happening, I had planned to step down from corporate. And this was kind of like a process, something that was 2 years in the making. So I knew I was going to get to that point eventually. And that's what I was working towards. I was working towards stepping down from corporate, doing podcasting full time. I'm slated. I'm thinking about, stepping down, setting things up, planning for that ultimate exit from corporate, and things kind of come crashing down. But first, let me go back and say, Purpose and Faith was a series that I thought about because I felt like you cannot have purpose without faith. Faith is pretty much the foundation of purpose. When you think about faith, you think about your reason for being here. You think everything has a purpose. You think about the behind everything that you do, what is the glue? What is the thing that's holding you together, that's motivating you, that's inspiring you? Because on this journey to purpose, you're going to have pitfalls, you're going to have challenges, you're going to have moments where you really question what you're doing, you question your purpose, you question the people that are coming alongside you. You just question, and so what is going to keep you motivated and inspired to keep going on that journey? There has to be something deeper. And for me, faith has always been about that relationship that I have with my God, with that spirituality, that connection that I have with my God, and how He's able to move through me and do His work. And that involves purpose. And so when I thought about that, because ultimately this podcast is about purpose, I thought, I can't not have a series about purpose and faith and how instrumental it is when it comes to purpose. And so as I started building this concept, I thought about some individuals that their journey, their stories, their experiences have not only impacted their community and the people around them, but have impacted me, whether it was a word, whether it was a conversation, a discussion, a quote, whether it was an act of service. But what they did impacted me so much that I felt like there's no way I can have this series without bringing on these individuals. So that's my reasoning behind having this series on purpose and faith. And why is faith so important when it comes to purpose? Like I said, it's having that belief, that unwavering belief that you have been put here for a specific purpose. And when you're practicing that faith, you're believing every single day through your actions, through your words, how you serve, what you do. You're believing that you are actively walking in that purpose. And that's how you're applying your faith. You're saying no matter what the circumstances might be, no matter what gets thrown at me, no matter what happens, I'm going to continue this purpose. And that's how you are applying your faith every single day. So you wake up in the morning and you're actively walking in that purpose with everything that you do, every conversations that you have, every interaction that you have. You are exercising your faith towards your purpose. And so this is why faith is so important to me, because it means that I am activating, showing, demonstrating, walking in that faith every single day when I'm walking on this journey to purpose. And I believe that not only is that a component of faith and purpose, but also there's different parts to it. One part is that while you're walking on this journey to purpose, he is aligning the right individual to walk alongside this journey with you. And many times I've said that I've thought about something when it comes to the podcast, and then when it comes to my purpose, I've sat here maybe and I'm meditating, or I'm just thinking randomly, and a thought comes into my mind and a concept starts to formulate. And as I think about that, next thing you know, maybe the next day I'm having a conversation with somebody, and some way, somehow, that concept, that thought that I was thinking about previously, now this person, some way, somehow, is aligning themselves with that thought or that process. And I really, truly think that that's God putting the right people on that journey with you at the right time. And that is a component of it that I felt like I've experienced over and over and over again. I talk about my tribe. I talk about my community. I talk about my family and the support that I get from insiders. And I really, truly believe that a part of it, part of purpose, part of you exercising that faith every day, is him sending those individuals to come along the journey with you. And as I got ready to, and I planned to step down from corporate, I had things lined up. I had a plan. I knew when it was going to happen. I knew how it was going to happen. I just I have my ducks in a row, and I've lined things up so that I can do it a certain way. And in March, this is the first time, well, this is the second time I'm going to be sharing this. So I was slated to step down from corporate in March, and I have my plan laid out, and that plan went up in flames. It did not happen the way I thought it would happen. And the way it happened, I did not ever think it would ever happen this way. I actually got terminated. I got let go from my job that I had been with for many, many years. And I felt completely broken. I felt shame. I felt disappointment. I felt like something was ripped from me. There were a lot of emotions. I was angry. And through all of these emotions, I also felt like I just wanted to crawl into a hole and disappear. It was probably one of the most challenging things that I have ever been through, because I had never anticipated leaving that way. And I'm sitting here questioning God and asking him, why would you ever let something like that happen to me? Why did I have to leave this way? Why did it have to be this way? Couldn't there have been another way? And so really questioning, not really my faith, but questioning him as to why things had to happen the way they happened. And throughout that time, one of the things that I was praying for and working on last year in 2023 was trust and surrender. So those were every year I try to select an action that will encompass what my goal is going to be for that year. And so in 2023, my words were trust and surrendering. So really walking and trusting God, surrendering everything and anything to him. And I had a pretty decent year. It was fine. But what you also have to understand is your timing is not his timing. And so what happened was he was like, oh, okay, you want to really know how to trust and surrender to me? Well, I'm going to test that. And in that phase, while I had just gotten let go, I had planned and allocated certain things to happen for the podcast, for other things. I didn't have anything. And I'm sitting here thinking I didn't even know where to go from there. I had no idea where to go from there. I was completely broken. And I even did not think that season 3 would even happen at that point. I had a conversation with my business manager shortly, right after it happened. And she asked me, she said, well, what's going to happen in season 3? I just wanted to answer instinctively, I don't know. But when I opened my mouth, what came out was, I'm going to have to find a way. Whatever that way is, whatever needs to happen, I'm going to have to find it. And at that moment, that's when I realized that this series was going to happen because of the circumstances that I was going through. That timing lined up so that I could have this experience to walk through while we are launching this series. When I decided to do this series, obviously I wasn't having that experience, but I realized that was the reason why. He wanted me to have that experience. He wanted me to be able to really talk to insiders about how do you actually exercise your faith when you're walking through purpose. Up until then, when I was walking through purpose, it was all peaches and cream. I had been through nothing. It was just, purpose is great. Oh my gosh, you should find your purpose. You should walk in it. It's amazing. This was the other side of purpose. This is when if you say you really have faith, and if you say faith is really your foundation, and if you say you're really going to walk in your purpose, this is him testing you to see, are you? Do you have faith? Do you really trust me? Do you really surrender to me? So this was my test. And there were days where I woke up and I went into my office to meditate and pray, and I was on the floor kicking and screaming. There were days where I woke up and all I could do, I couldn't pray, but I could praise. So I put on my Elevation Worship album and I would go walk outside for an hour, 2 hours, and all I could do was listen to the music, to the song, to the words that I was listening to. That's all I could do. But through every single step of that journey, every single day, he showed me without a shadow of a doubt that he was right there with me. I might have not felt it at the time because of what was going on, but every day there was a word, there was a conversation, there was a quote on social media, there was a verse, there was a voice, there was a presence, there was something every single day that showed me that he was right there with me. Every single day. And for me, it was just waking up and looking for what that message would be that day. That's what kept me going. So I would wake up in the morning and I would say, what conversation, what sign are you going to show me today that you're really with me? Because I have nothing else. I have nobody else. And that's what kept me going throughout that time. To wake up and every day it was just taking one more step and praying, meditating. Some days I had no words. Some days I had a lot. Some days I was angry. And one of the things that one of the guests of season 3 said that really resonated with me, she said, I treat God like he's my man. And she said, if I'm angry, he'll know. If I'm happy, he will know. If I'm thinking about this, he will know. And I was just like, wow, that's amazing. And so one of the ways that I always operated was that I wanted to come to him in my faith the right way, whatever that right way was. So whether it was being very quiet, whether it was fearing him, not saying certain things. And what I pulled from the conversation that I had with this guest was that, no, he wants you to come raw. He wants you to come without the veil. He wants you to come in your true state. So whether you're angry, whether you are upset, whether you feel shame, whether you feel guilt, whether you're happy, he wants you to say that to him. He wants you to show how you really feel with whatever is going on. And I was like, okay. I really took that with me and I was like, okay, so you're going to hear from now on I'm committed to telling you and showing you however I feel in the moment. And it's really having that raw relationship with him. And that's why it's so amazing to sit down and have conversation with the guests that you will be hearing from, and seeing how we all have our unique ways of dealing. We're all of dealing with things. We're all made a certain way. We're all very unique, and that relationship, that faith part, can be whatever it needs to be for you. And a few weeks ago, I felt like I woke up one day and I was like, I took the turn. I've made the turn around the corner to where now I wake up and I'm no longer carrying that shame of how I left corporate. I'm no longer hiding behind what happened. I no longer feel like it's a secret and I need to hide it from anyone. It is what it is. And I needed to go through that experience to be here to talk to you all about this series, because if I'm going to have a platform where people are going to be able to feel safe and come and share their stories and experiences and be vulnerable, how can I not be the one that experiences that as well? I can't be a fake. And so in going through that experience, I'm able to really truly share with you what if it was for me to experience purpose and faith. And I want to talk a little bit about these guests that will be coming on through season 3. They are so amazing. Some of them I've known for a short time, and some of them I've known for a long time. But each and every one of them is unique, from makeup artists to trendsetters to influencers to producers, storytellers, to business managers, to close friends. I mean, everyone has a story that if it doesn't move you, if it doesn't motivate you, then I'm not sure what else you might want or you might need. But these individuals were not picked by me. I really want to say that he was the one who allowed me to see these people for who they are, their stories, what they represent, what they have been challenged through and what they have come through, and now they're able to be vulnerable and share those stories and experiences with you. Because part of the one mission of this platform is for you to know that you're not in it alone. And that's something that I experienced when I was going through my situation, my experience, is that I had random people that I had not talked to for a while that texted me and said, "Hey, Harley, I'm thinking about you right now." Haven't talked to this person for like a year or two. I would go and meet with someone and they would share something with me that would help me. And when you hear these stories, when you hear these experiences, I am 100% sure that you'll be able to take something out of their story, out of the experience that will resonate with you, that will let you know that you are not alone. You're not alone in this journey. You have God. You have a community. You have a platform that you can come to and you can hear people's stories, and hopefully what that does for you is that it's a witness to you. It shows you that, I can do this no matter how impossible it might seem. Because let me tell you something, I didn't think that it was going to be possible for me to have season 3 the way I needed. And so to have that faith is to actively practice it and show it every single day, through every single conversation, through every single interaction. And for me, this is what season 3 represents. And this is why these specific guests are going to come on the pod and share their stories. They're going to be vulnerable with you. They're going to be raw. There's going to be some tears. There's going to be joy. There's going to be victory. There are going to be challenges. But through all of that, the one thing that they all have in common is faith. Is having that faith to know that whatever that purpose is, it might seem impossible. You may question why you are in a phase that you're in right now. You may tell yourself, this is pretty much impossible. Well, that's his specialty. That's what he does. He turns the impossible into possible. He wants to show you how impossible this might be, but he's going to do it. And trust and believe in that plan. And so that's what I'm doing every day. Every day, I exercise that faith. I exercise that trust. I surrender. And I'm out here in these streets, y'all, practicing my faith and walking in my purpose. And like I said, these guests are amazing. They have amazing stories. And I know that you will be touched. I know that it will resonate with you, whatever you are going through. And that is the biggest reason why I'm here today, is because I don't have a choice. I have to lean on that faith and know that this faith is going to allow me to walk in my purpose every day. I have to lean on that faith and know, and that trust and that surrender, and know that his plan is so much better than mine that I could possibly imagine. And so many amazing things have happened through this phase that I've been going through this challenge, through this journey. So this relationship, my tribe, I feel like those relationships have gotten stronger. I feel like every time we have a conversation, somebody is ministering to somebody. Every time we have a conversation, somebody's experiencing it in story is impacting somebody. I feel like there are individuals that have really, truly been sent by him to help me walk on this journey. My journey partner, she has been there every step of the way, whether it was a word of encouragement, whether it was, hey, let's go out and hang out, lifting my spirits. Really been somebody that's been there for me, encouraging me and helping me through this journey, through this phase. I have a few individuals from my sister circles who that was actually one of the friend sister groups that I was most concerned about, because I really felt like I had let them down. And they have been texting, they have been reaching out, they have been just that. They have been that force behind the situation that have said, listen, you're not, we're not perfect. We're not. We'll make mistakes. There are some things that we're not going to like. But if we're not there for you, one person specifically said to me these words: if we're not able to be here for you now, Harley, then what are we here for? What are we doing? And those words stayed with me and stuck with me because I was really questioning, and I was really I was telling myself that maybe I should take a step back and I should just go away for a while. And she didn't let me. She was like, no, 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 no. This is why we're here. This is why we are a sister circle. We are a sister circle because in these moments, when these things happen, that's when we need to step up. And that was so heartfelt, so touching. Again, it was always a message, a conversation, a word, a quote. There was always something every single day that allowed me to feel his presence while I was going through this. And so I really feel like this series is going to be it get better and better as we go through them, right? It's the evolution of Inside the Bubble with Harli G. But this series is especially special because of the faith part. That's all I can say. I mean, like, the faith it's prevalent throughout the whole series as these guests talk about their journeys, their stories, their experience. The common thread that you see is faith. And I can't wait for you all to hear these messages, these stories, these experiences that these guests are going through. They're amazing. And I am so touched that these individuals were able to say yes and say, yes, I will come and share my stories. Because while, yes, you guys, I might be a little bit of an extrovert, I will talk to anybody and share my story with anyone, but I don't take it for granted that everyone is comfortable with being vulnerable and sharing their stories. So just by them being here, for them coming on the platform and sharing their stories, I am so grateful that they're able to do that and let them inside their world and their purpose and what it looks like to walk on this journey to purpose. So I'm very grateful for each and every one of them. And like I said, I know you'll be able to pull something from their message and their story. And I can't wait for you all to hear it. And then let's, share with us, engage with us how their stories were impactful to you, what you got out of it, what for you really resonated, because you're giving it power when you're not talking about it. But if you put it out there, if you share it with someone, you have no idea what someone might be going through. Because we have this habit of putting on a face and saying, okay, I'm going to fake it till I make it, right? That's what I'm going to do. Nobody will know what I'm going through because I'm not going to tell anyone. But there's a sense of shame. You're keeping that shame. You're keeping that guilt inside. And so when you actually share it with someone, and then you start to realize and recognize that person has been, you guys have a commonality now. Oh my gosh, you went through that too? Oh my goodness. And now you begin to shed that coat of shame, of guilt, of anger, of fear that you're carrying with yourself. So I would love to have the opportunity to engage and share stories and experiences, because that's what it's all about. It's about building that community and being in a place where you feel safe to do so. So that is what season 3 is about. I can't wait for you all to see these amazing episodes and experience these stories, these experiences, get to know some of these guests that are coming on. I mean, you guys, they're world class. They're amazing. One guest had me rolling on the floor. I'll let you guess who that person might be, but such amazing stories, and I can't wait to share with you all what's season 3, because it's just amazing. So thank you for hanging there with me for being there with me, even though you may have not known what was going on. You kind of saw me maybe go I go dark when I go through things. So my business manager makes fun of me because she was like, Harley faded to black. Yes, that's what I do when I go through things. But so you might have seen me take a step back over the last few months, but that just meant that I was working on things so that we could be better. And so that could we be able to of Inside the Bubble with Harli G. And I cannot wait for you guys to see all the hard work, all the things that we have been doing. So thank you so much for hanging in there with me, for thinking of me, for your encouraging words. For those of you who were able to send me a text, reach out. I absolutely have the best community, the best tribe. And I want to really extend a heartfelt thank you for allowing me to go through this. So I just want to say thank you. And please, please, please make sure that you tune in and check out season 3 of Inside the Bubble with Harli G. Because you know what I always say, there's purpose in your story. I hope you enjoyed our show today. Keep the conversation going. Leave a comment and share with your friends. We would love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, there's purpose in your story.